training.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. This is what our schedule looks like. We're doing 3 days of FileMaker's layout architecture with Nick Hunter from today through Wednesday. On Thursday, it'll be mirror tables and FileMaker with Hans and Philip A. Pulse, which should be fun. With that all being said, Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, everyone. Today we do the first day on the layout parts and the layout organization, but focusing on the parts of the layout, right? So I try to be thorough and I try to show you all and tell you all about this, right? Because it can be tricky. You have a lot of hidden states, hidden stuff not really well documented, and so that's why we're here for that. So to decipher all the hidden stuff that FileMaker is is hiding behind. So let me share my screen first. So what is interesting to know about the parts, right, in the layout is that this comes from the very, very beginning of the history of FileMaker, right? So they modify things over the years, but it has been a long time since they didn't do any change there. The last change was the addition of a new part named top and bottom navigation. That was the latest. I don't remember when it was, like FileMaker 14 or something like this, where they come with the top and bottom navigation. So what are we talking about? Okay, so by default, FileMaker layout. So let's create a new layout, right? Let's create a new layout. Layout come like this, right? So you have a body, right? And you can't remove the body, so that the body, I mean, you can't remove all parts in the layout, right? So this is a part, right? So this is one part. You can add different parts by going to the layouts menu and go to the part setup, right? And here you have the part setup here, right? So you have the body, and then you can create another part. You can add another part. So this is how they appear in the layout. Top navigation, bottom navigation. So if I add a top navigation, this is locked. Why? Because I cannot put that somewhere else than on the top. This will always be on the top. Same if I add a button. If I have a bottom navigation, it will always stay on the top, on the bottom. Those two are locked. They can't move. Now, I can add a title header. Don't worry, I'm going to come to explain what this is to you, right? For now, we're talking about the organization, right? The title header cannot be moved as well. But if I delete those two and I create the title header, it appears on the top. But if I create a top navigation, the top navigation will be on top of the header. Even if I created that first, and then I created this, the top navigation will always land on the top. Same if I put the title footer, and then I put the bottom navigation always be on the bottom, always, and cannot be moved. Now I can create a header. Same thing, the header and the footer, right? They always there. You have the top, the title header, the header, and the footer, title footer, and bottom navigation. This will always be after this, will always be after this. But when I say after, it's because it's the footer, right? So this first, then this, then this. This first, then this, and cannot be moved. Then we have the leading run summary, right? Always, same thing. The leading run summary cannot be moved. It always comes after the header. Whatever, if I create the leading run summary first, or it always get this sort, right? This order. Same if I put a trailing run summary, is always beyond the, after the body. So remember here, we have a body. So this come before the body, and this come after the body, right? But I can delete the body, so I have no body, okay? But still, this come this, like this, and then you have the trailing run summary, but the order comes based on something in the middle. So now those two, because I create this and this, I cannot have multiple top navigation, by the way. I cannot have twice this or twice this or twice this. If you put the header is there and you cannot create another one, correct? Right? So now, if I create a body, it will come here automatically, right? So now you will say, what can I move here? If this I cannot move, this I cannot move, and I cannot put anything between all of them, you know? I cannot put the body between those two. I cannot do that, right? Here it comes a special part, the sub-summary when sorted by. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what this is, but first I'm going to show you how that works. Here you say, okay, I want to get a sub-summary sorted by a field. Don't worry, I'm going to explain. Let's say I want to sort by initial, right? And here is going to ask you if these parts want to be below or above. Okay, and here it comes the FileMaker voodoo stuff. Print below and print above of what? We don't know. This part can be printed above or below the record that is summarized. Yeah, but is this okay? This bothers me since the beginning of the time, you know, is because it doesn't explain what it is, right? Is print below or above the body? The body. It print below or above the body. So if I said below, this is below the body, right? They call that trailing because it's trailing the body. If I remove this and I add again and I send print above, which the guy who did that, I mean, he has OCDs, you know, he has a problem, you know, because print above, below the print below. Now, picture this, you know, picture this. Print above is below this. Doesn't make any sense to me. Don't, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm here to explain to you. This dialogue is there since the beginning of time, and they never changed it. So if I say print above, now is here the sub-summary by initial leading. So it's above the body, right? But I can do this. This is why, see, I can do this. I can move those two. I can put that leading or trailing. See, I can move this. Now, what I can do is create another one and I print below. So I can have twice the same, right? But I cannot have twice the same leading. I can have twice the same, one in the leading, one in the trailing. And I'm going to explain how that works. Okay? So this is why, and I can have multiple sub-summary, here. I can have multiple sub-summary, right? And I can have multiple sub-summary also below, right? So I can have multiple sub-summaries. Don't worry, I'm going to explain how that works, right? So this is how it looks when you have everything there, right? So pass that up, body, header, leading, right? So do we have any questions so far?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. So let's destroy everything and show you. I mean, who learned something today? Or all of that was known by everybody.
I didn't know all of it. So I at least learned something.
Okay.
Let me know, people, if you have learned something so I can forward it on to Nick. People are typing. Yeah, Foxy Jack is saying they learned something.
Okay. Okay. So now let's see how those things works. Okay. Here I have records, right? And this is my layout. Let's say I want to add an order. I want to add a part, right? So you have multiple ways to add parts. You can go there and say part setup, or you have this here, this icon here. You select this, you drag, and you create the parts, You drag and you create the parts. So let's say I want to add a top navigation, right? I want to add a top navigation like this, right? So what this do? It stays always on top, right? Always. It will never slide, right? It stays. Even if I scroll, that stays. Also, if I go list view, it stays, right? It stays. But at the top navigation. But if you print, save as PDF, or preview, it's not there, right? If I save as PDF, oh, it's PDF, no Excel. If I save as PDF, right, and I do this, no top navigation, right? Is not there. And in preview mode, neither. But is there in form view, list view, not in preview, not in save as PDF, and not in printing. Correct? I'm going to talk about the table view later because this is different. Now, let's continue. I want to add another part, the title header. Of course, that's the same for the bottom navigation, right? You understand? So, this will be the same, right? So browse, it stays on the bottom, it stays on the top, bottom, top, it stays in list view, it stays in form view. And of course, if you preview, it's not there, right? So top and bottom navigation, the same. One stay on the top, one stays stuck on the bottom, right? So now, the title header. What the hell is this? Well, it's special. It is there on form view, but it moves if your layout scrolls, it moves. It doesn't stay stuck with like the top navigation, right? It scrolls, correct? Same for his browser, the title footer, which I cannot put there. Why? Why? Right? Title footer. Okay. Title footer, same thing, right? It will stay, it will go away, right? I mean, it moves. Those moves that are interesting behavior, and I'm going to explain how we can use this stuff, right? I'm going to come with design purposes because this serves design purposes. I'm going to explain to you all of this, but it is important to know what parts is doing because you will never find anything about this. Don't even try. So they don't explain that very well. So the title header, right, is moving on form view, but it doesn't show in list view. It doesn't show in list view. It shows only on preview, save, print. Correct? Only on preview, save, and print. On browse, on list view, never show up. On form view, it shows up but moves. Correct? Questions?
Someone adding said, "Oh, I did not know that you could have multiple sub-summaries."
Oh yeah, you can have as many as you want. And I'm going to show you how to play with those things, right? So that's why we have 3 days because people say, oh, what are we going to say in 3 days? Don't worry. I will have, and I'm not sure that 3 days will be enough to finish, because it's complicated. It's complicated. And you have many aspects of those things, right? So other questions or comments?
Uh, nope, you are good.
Okay. So let's continue. Remember, in preview mode, I can sit in list view. Okay. What happened if I add another one, a header, and I'm going to add a footer at the same time, right? So that's a header, that's a header, and that's a footer. So what that do? Browse mode. Oh, in form view, I have both title header and the header, footer, title footer. I have both, and both are moving. Both are moving. In list view, I have the header and the footer, but they're not moving, right? When I scroll the list view, they stay stuck. Here, it moves, but not the top navigation, the bottom navigation. The title header and the header are there, and they're moving. Here, title header, title footer is not there, but they don't move. And the header footer are there, but they don't move. Now, this is a tricky part. Here, if I do a preview, if I do a preview on the first page, I'm seeing the title footer and the title header. If I go to the page 2, I'm showing the header and the footer on all other pages. This is only on the first page. Only on the first page. Correct? And then on the second page of your document, if your document has many pages, the first page you will see the title header and the title footer, and the second page you see the header, but not the title. That's why they call that title header, because it's coming only on the first page. So I have a good example what this could be, how this could be used, right? So let's say on the first page, where's my logo? Right? You have a bigger title header, right? You have a big logo, right? And you have some Nick Hunter, your address, phone, email, right? You put something like this, you have a large header, right? And then on the header, you have a smaller version of this. You can change the color of this. You have a smaller version, right? Like this. Right? You can have a small version. So when you print, you have a big header on the first page, right? And then you have a smaller one. Correct? Right? So same for the footer. Title footer you can have, print on, and then you can insert where to insert stuff here. The current day, the current time, right? For example, so you can do something like this on the title, and here you can insert the page number symbol, right? For example, right? So when you print, you have this on the first page, and then on the second page, you have the page number, right? Right? So yeah, it's that's the only difference between the two. So the one show up on the first, and the second one on the footer, and the second one on all the other pages. But this happened only on printing. okay? Because on preview printing or save as PDF, right? But it doesn't happen in browse mode, right? If you're in browse mode, the title will never come. You don't see the page number because it cannot know, it doesn't know which page you are because you are in the list view. So this symbol doesn't come. This comes only on the second page, right? Because you know on which page you are, right? In browse mode, you will never know in which page you are. So this is the difference between those paths, right? Correct. So let's continue. Now, the leading run summary. So what this is for, okay? So it can be used for many things because it has a special behavior, okay? So it's always before the body, always on top because it's a leading run summary, right? And it can be used on the form view, on the list view. So on the list view, it moves up. It moves up, right? When the header and the top navigation, or the bottom navigation, they stay. But this one, the leading run summary, doesn't go. I mean, doesn't stay. It goes, right? So it can be interesting. You can use this for buttons. You can use this for for many things. If you I'm going to show you some example tomorrow about the design, right? But it's very interesting. So, but it has a special, it has a special meaning here, a special attribute, I mean, behavior, okay? Especially when we, when we use summary fields, okay? But I'm going to show you that tomorrow, okay? Or later today if I have some time, because I want to show you something else before. I'm going to show you now before we go. So that's the same for the leading run summary or the trailing run summary. That is the same behavior, okay? It doesn't stay. It goes on the bottom, see? Top, this is the top run summary, and this is the trailing run summary. Trailing run summary, and this here, leading run summary, right? So if I do a smaller font set, you can see them, see? Bottom, top, see? Okay. But I'm not going to show you that today. I'm going to, now I'm going to show you that later. I want to show you another one, which is the sub-summary when sorted by. Okay. So for this, I'm going to show you, create a new layout, and I'm going to use this and this. So first, last, address, country, like this. This is a little bit big. Can do this, right? Like this. Okay. So, yeah, a little trick for you. If you want to change this from horizontal or vertical, right? You type on your keyboard Alt or Command on the Mac, and you click on it. That change, see? Sometimes it's great to have this, but sometimes it's great if you want to resize, it's better to have this because we can do that here, but it's hard it's very hard to get the handle. See? So I prefer to use this, right? And you have it like this, right? So now that I have this, right? I have this, and I want to show you this in list view, right? So I have a list view, correct? But I want to move those. So a trick I want to show you, right? So let's say I have this, and I want to create a part to include this. So I click here, I drag down here, and then I say I want a header, correct? And this what happened. So now everything here is inside the header. So I can just do this and do this. So I can redo it for you. I have this, right? Let's put that a little bit down. I have this behavior, and I want to include this in a header. I take this, I drag this here, see? And boom, and I said header, and now everything inside this will be included in a new part, and the body will be smaller. See? This is a good trick. It helps you a lot doing things. And you just have to rearrange this a little bit. So now I have a nice list view. Okay? I have a nice list view. And do we have any questions so far?
Not at the moment. Just people saying they got it. So
Okay, cool. So now that I have this, I want to do something. I have a field, right? I have a field I call initial, right? So what the initial? Well, is the first letter of the name, right? So what I want to do with this letter, I'm going to create a part, a sub-summary when sorted by initial, right? And I want to print it above. And I'm going to put the initial here. Okay, let me do this. I have my initial here. I have the initial in this part. And this part is sorted by initial. If I'm here in browse mode, nothing happened, right? Nothing is happening. But if I sort by initial, this happened. A, B, Bermuda, Bauer, Brown, because what you need to see is not ordered correctly. It should have been ordered like this. Actually, last, first, right? Address, country, and postal code, right? So now it's better to understand A, B, right? Because it's the first letter of the name. So now he made a separation because I sorted by initial. So he said all the A together, all the B together, it does a separation at each time a letter is changing. So now I can do something else. I can sort by initial, sort by last name, and sort by first name. So now I have a better Abbott Kane, Acosta, because AC is sorted by last name. And then, it's sorted by last name first, right? Here you have Alexander Desiree and Alexander Ruby, because R is coming after D. I sort by name, by last name, and first name. And of course, I sort by initial. What happened if I don't sort by initial and I sort by last name, first name? Well, the initial gone, the separation between A, B, C, D is gone because I'm not sorting by the key that this is attached to. So to make the sub-summary, the separation to work, you need to sort by the initial first and then last name, first name. Then now I have the separation, right? Any question?
People saying that's really cool, which is true. It is.
Oh, you didn't know about that? No.
Someone didn't. So.
Okay. Okay, I'm glad. So let's continue. So that was based on the letter, right? But let's say I want another sub-summary sorted by, right? I want a sub-summary sorted by country. I want that above, and I want that first. I want that before the initial, right? See, I can change the order here and there. So I want the country first, right? So I'm putting the country here, right? And of course, I'm going to make it bold and bigger, right? So now I have a sub-summary sorted by country and a sub-summary sorted by initial, right? So what happened? If I sort by country and initial and last name, first name, this happened. Afghanistan, Albania, and he put me the number, and he sorted, he do a sub-summary by each country. He showed me the name with the sub-summary at each initial that he found in that country. See? BFSW, LMST, right? Right? See? So it does. Now, what happens if I do this? Initial first and country second. Well, this happened. You reverse it. You put the A and then sorted by country. So he did the opposite. Even though I said this first and this second, the sort order influences this. The sort order influences this. So be careful with the sort order. Sometimes it can be cool, right? If you want to change on the fly, but it can be tricky sometimes, right? So be careful on the sort order because the sort order has a huge influence on this. Okay. So now what happened in, all of this, what happened on the printing side, right? Well, everything printed, right? Of course, the top navigation is not printed, but everything else is printed. Okay. All those here, those here doesn't have a very special behavior. Okay. So pretty much in the part order, all the orders, everything you can put here, everything you can put and everything that you can move. So pretty much anything that is not locked, all the part locked, they can have crazy behavior. Okay. Depending on, browse mode, list view, form view, some can move, some doesn't move, some show up, some doesn't show up, like I showed you before. Pretty much all the parts that are not the trailing, all the leading, body, sub-summary, trailing, those doesn't have a special behavior. The footer, the header, title of footer, title of header, bottom navigation, and top navigation can have different type of behavior, right? So, do we have any question? No, no questions?
Not at the moment, so you're good to keep going.
Okay, so maybe I will cut it here for today because I don't want to initiate something and cut it in the middle.
Yeah, and we got 10 minutes to go, so.
Yeah, so not only that, but tomorrow I can stay a little bit more, but I don't want to start something. I went too fast and I was expecting more questions, by the way. Sure, you have no guys, you guys don't have any questions. Well, yeah, what I can do, I can explain stuff about, since I have 10 minutes here, I can do that. I can explain some stuff here. I take the opportunity. I want to do that at the end, but I can do that now. Here, we have stuff here that have influence in the layout. First, okay, I want to show you this one, the show current record indicator. This is a good old bar on the left. This, right? The black stuff here. This is the good old, remember this on the FileMaker old version? This is where you activate it, right? The show delineated, this is what it's doing. Is showing the background of the fields, right? When you activate them, when you click on it, when the layout, when the record is activated, right? You have the background of the fields. If you put this here, well, you have on all fields. You see the difference? So this can be interesting to use, right? Because it looks cleaner and you see only the background of the fields when you activate, right? Then here you have the show field frame when record is active, right? So this is a good old FileMaker 11 behavior. So let's say I have something like this, and it shows the border, right? Like this, right? It shows you the border of the like dotted line like this of the field you can browse. If you say this one you cannot browse on it, well, it doesn't get the border. This is a very antique behavior that I never use anymore because it doesn't, but it's still there. It is deactivated by default, but it's there, right? So after that, since I have some time, right, we can have influence also, right, on this background here, right? If you want to change the background here, so if you want to see the activated field, you see the background is blue, right? Well, you double click on the body, and here you have the options. Use active row states. If you deactivate, you don't have it anymore, right? You don't. So you don't really know in which record you are, right? Only if you click on it. But if you're there, you don't know you are in the 507. And if you click here, you have a 503. And if you click here, you are a 374. So you don't really know, right? Don't really know. So that's why the delineate sometimes can be cool, because now you know where you are. Oh no, why? I said delineate the active row. Delineate field on current active only. Well, that's weird. Is that tied to this? No. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah. So the delineate, because this, now it works. See? So you have the delineate like this, so you can see in which field you are, in which record you are, right? Using the delineate. So you have many ways to see in which field, in which record you have. You have your active row state, you have the delineate, and the show active frame. So you have here you have all of them in one, right? So like this, right? Not this one, sorry, right? So you have this bar, the background, the delineate, right? It's a little bit too much for me, but it's okay. But you can see all of them. Of course, here also, if you double click here, you have the alternate row states. So what is this? Is doing this a little bit darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, right? He's doing something like this. He simulate the old style reports printing. Remember this blue and black, blue and white. What's the name? Paper that we were printing before. I don't know if you remember that. If you are more than 50, you remember. you know but it simulate this to see the difference between records, right? So these options are here. So some are scattered on here. It's on the layout. This is on the body because this applies to the body only, right? So that's why it's there, right? Here you don't have. because this applies to the body, right? And you can double click on those things to activate the options. See, you can double click, or you can go to the part setup, right? And you can double click on it and double click on it, double click on it, but it's the same as doing, you can do that here, right? So I have another trick for you, right? So let's say you have a top navigation, but you want, for example, the header or you want the header to cover all of those three. That means you want to get rid of this and you want to get rid of this, but you don't want to get rid of what inside. You want to do something like this. Why doesn't it work? Hello. Why? Oh, it doesn't work on the, it doesn't, oh yeah, okay. So I want to do this. Oh, on 2, it doesn't work. So let's remove this. So I want the header to become the top navigation. Okay. I do this, see how it does, and boom. Again, boom. I can do the opposite. Boom. See, the top navigation eats like this. Because if you want to remove this and keep this in place, how you do? You can't. You can do this. See? I have a header and a top navigation. If I drag this here, holding Control and Alt on PC, and Option and Command on Mac keyboard, right? Where is it? Those two on Mac and those two on PC. I hold those two. If I hold those two and I drag this here, boom. Or if I hold those two keys and I drag up, boom. I can do the same with the sub-summary. I can do this, boom. Or I can do this, boom. I can do this, boom. See, you can make a part to eat the one just next to it. So that is a trick that allows you to keep the thing inside and get rid of a part. It's useful. Who knew about that?
I did not. We have actually a detailed question, but I think I'll put a pin in
Yeah.
it for you to tackle.
No,
Okay.
we can do, no problem.
When you sort by country, is it possible to easily remove the country from the body since it's redundant? I mean automatically
Yes.
if you switch in and out of sorting by country.
The only thing I can see we can do is this something like this. Okay, so see you have the get source states, right? So if you say get source states, you hide this. But if you unsort, it's there. If you sort, it's gone. Right? So you can say, you can do the same here. So if you have a sort state, right, it's gone. But if you unsort, it's there. That's the only way you can do that. Right? That's cool, by the way. See? Other question?
Not any at the moment. So
Okay. Well, but I felt the time. No, I want to show you that at the end, but I could show you that because tomorrow I'm going to show you a little bit more complex
hmm
about summary field. You know how the summary field works. The
yes.
totals and the stuff like this. So I want to start this and finish it on one session, right? Because it's all about total, subtotal, stuff like this, right? So I'm going to address that tomorrow. So, but today it was a good one, So now we know pretty much how those thing works, right? But now, okay, we talk. I'm going to talk about the summaries and the total and the stuff like this. And Wednesday, I'm talking about this guy. I promise you that I'm going to talk about this guy here, right?
Yes.
Because that is another voodoo stuff that FileMaker never rebuild this. It's there since FileMaker 4. This never changed since FileMaker 4. So that's why all of those things are very old stuff, like this.
hmm
They add the top and the bottom navigation like in for FileMaker 14,
hmm
and that's it. And since FileMaker 1.0, this never changed. They add those two on 12. They have these two on 14, but everything else is the same. Oh, by the way, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to show you the page break and stuff like that. And, yeah, I could have shown you that today, but it's okay. I can show you that tomorrow.
You got it. You
No,
got
yeah, I'm going to show you that when I'm going to do this, I'm going to explain the part breaks and stuff like this.
Yes, that always I always fight with that. I'm never like I
Oh
said,
yeah,
I
me
never
too.
win.
Yeah, me too. Well, to be honest with me too, but it's not that complicated.
Yes.
Uh, I will show you that because this and this is tied a little bit.
hmm
This and this too. So I'm going to show you that the last day.
That'll be awesome. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Nick. Look forward to
Thank
seeing you
you.
tomorrow. Thank everyone for coming. Have a good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending where you're at. And I'll
Thank
see
you.
you later. Bye bye.
See you tomorrow.